Today we are with Shafeen, Faiza, and Naz, who are volunteers and coordinators of Aga Khan Foundation. Aga Khan Foundation is having 28th World Partnership Walk in Edmonton, and we are with them to understand the objectives and how they are serving the communities. And I also understand that this walk is 28th in a row, and they are doing excellent work to work for poverty all over the world. So I talked to Shafeen. Shafeen, what is the purpose of this 28th walk?
So the premise behind the World Partnership Walk, really, it's Canada's largest annual event dedicated solely to raising awareness and raising funds for global poverty. Our mission really is to end global poverty throughout the world.
This 28th walk, how much money you have people have contributed or you have gathered to share with communities?
So since we started in 1985, we've raised over close to $70 million, and this year there's going to be a walk in 10 different cities. Last year in Edmonton alone we raised $700,000, and throughout Canada we raised $7 million for international development. But the key message is not the amount that we raise, but in addition we get leveraging from the Canadian government. So the Canadian government, on top of our $7 million, added $30 million. So to the projects there was $37 million that went there. And to make matters even better than that, not a cent is spent on administration because the majority of the work is done by volunteers. So every dollar or every cent that's raised actually goes to the projects.
Okay, so which countries you have focused with so much money?
Well, there's quite a few. I mean, right now we're in 10 different countries. We have over 30 different projects on the go. It's actually 12 different countries, including India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, Egypt, Kenya, Tanzania. It's the Asia and Africa countries that are severely poor and that need help. And the idea is not to actually give them money or give them a handout, but help build their infrastructure, help build their health care, their education, so that they can feed their families for years to come.
Shafeen, I understand, as we talked earlier as well, this is 28th walk, but I'm so surprised that East Indians residing in Canada, they are not aware of your initiative. So how are you connecting with East Indians or Asians?
Well, it's things like this that we're doing to get out there. I mean, when we were a smaller walk, it was a lot more difficult to attract people, but last year we had 40,000 walkers across 10 cities. And, the big cities that we're into, Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, have a large East Indian population, and they're continuing to grow in numbers to support our walk, and that's exactly what we need. Is we need more people out there to help us build the awareness, right? If we can get up to 100,000 people, it'll generate that much more funding, allow the government to put in that much more funding, and help us across the world.
So how much money you expect in this 28th walk?
Well, like I said, last year we were close to $7 million. Hoping for about $8 million this year would be a good growth. But we keep pushing forward and trying to get all the corporations and all the walkers to raise money for us. So.
And again, government would be chipping in some money?
Absolutely. The government's committed to close to $300 million over the next 5 years, and we have to come up with $60 million of that towards these projects. So. There's different initiatives that we do. The walk is one of them. World Partnership Golf is another. So there's multiple avenues that we raise money for these causes.
Shafeen, I have some information to share with you, and since I come from India, and I see people are below poverty line. When I talk poverty line, that means any person earning $1.25 a day is below poverty line, and there are 59% of them in India. There's a lot of malnutrition, and children are dying of hunger. 40% of them are under malnutrition. Does your organization have any focus on Indian communities?
Well, we do. In Kokalaban, India, there is a project that we're doing where we're bringing water and sanitation over, because a lot of the problems that you're talking about, really the health issues, the children dying before the age of 5, are caused by lack of water and sanitation. That's the biggest one. So what do these mothers do? They go and they travel miles to bring 20 liters of water back for their kids. Right? Well, that takes a lot of energy, takes a lot of resources. If we can build an infrastructure for them where the water comes to them, now they can focus on educating their kids. They can focus on worrying about the food, healthcare is not an issue. It's all part and parcel of a bigger initiative to make this community self-sufficient.
Lastly, what do you expect from Asian media and Asian communities residing in Canada?
We'd just love all of you to just come out to the walk. I think that's the main thing. Enjoy yourself. It's a great event. Build the awareness. The more numbers we get walking on the streets, the bigger this thing will be, the more money we'll be able to raise, and the bigger impact we'll have across the continent. So,
thank you, Shafin.
So we would really like to invite all the viewership of ATN and all friends and families to come join us. The walk this year is on June the 10th, that's Sunday, at the Edmonton Legislature grounds. There is plenty of free parking, so please bring your friends, your families, your neighbors, and join us. And the registration for the walk, for those who are participating, starts at 9. So the walkers and the participants start coming at 9. And at about 10:30, we have the actual entertainment program starting. And then we have the ribbon cutting, and the walk starts about 11. So it's a 5-kilometer walk around the river valley, so very nice scenic walk. There's a shorter walk for our special needs and senior participants, so that's a shorter walk, 2 kilometers. And after the walk is done, there is a barbecue lunch that they can get for $5. You get a nice burger, veggie burger, some chips, orange and pop. So it's a nice picnic. And then there is a beautiful entertainment program. We have 2 bands this year, the Caribbean Steel Band, Japanese drummers. We have a variety of dance group coming, including Guru Swat, who is bringing the Punjabi Dance Academy. So he's coming for the 2nd year in a row. Very excited about that. Lekki School of Dancing. There's a yoga session, a Zumba session, and lots of music. And we also, on that day, appreciate and celebrate everything that Canadians do. And we have awards that we give out too. And the way that the people can get involved is numerous ways. They can join a team with their family or at work and fundraise. So that's a wonderful way to be involved with the walk. You can just register as an individual and raise awareness about the walk, about the need. As you mentioned, Yash, there's so much need in the third world. So that's another way that they can contribute. They can just come and participate, come and walk with us. As Shafin was saying, the larger our event is, the more that our communities will hear about it, and the larger the impact will be to the countries that need this help, right? So we are asking everyone to come take steps with us, right? We also need volunteers, and we're very happy to have you as volunteers as well. Every year we need about 300 volunteers, so that's a large group. We had almost 4,000 people last year, which was wonderful. And as Shafin says, our aim is to get to 10,000. And slowly, with your help, with the help of our communities out there, we will get to that point. So we'd really like to invite you to come and join us all.
Thank you, Nas.
One thing to add is that there is absolutely no cost to show up, so come in numbers.
So here we are again at the annual World Partnership Walk. This is a special walk because it raises money for underprivileged situations right around the world. Here in Edmonton, this event has been hosted at the Alberta Legislature precinct for about 30 years now. And I'm very proud to have been here at every one of those except one. So today I want to wish the Aga Khan Foundation and all of its volunteer members, not only here in Alberta but throughout Canada and elsewhere around the world, the very, very best of success with this event, which, as I said earlier, does raise monies for charitable causes, underprivileged children, underprivileged women, underprivileged families around the world. Thank you for your generosity, and please know that you will always be able to count on my personal and my professional support for causes like this. Congratulations as well to our Ismaili community in a general sense for everything that they have done and continue to do to focus on the needs of others. Yali Madad.
That is, once again, thank you, and it's a great event here today in the legislative ground, and thousands of people are gathering here to do a partnership walk, and that purpose of that walk is to raise money for underprivileged countries or people to help them out, and that is a true Canadian value. how the people from Edmonton go out and raise money to help others. And this is, I think, many of their effort by the Aga Khan Foundation to organize such an event like that. Is a family event, is a fun event, and also is a good cause.
Through your simple acts here today, giving, walking, and volunteering, you are furthering the same spirit of partnership that underpins the Foundation's work in the developing world. I'm now going to invite some of our special guests to say a few words. First, I would like to invite our Speaker of the Legislative Assembly, Honorable Gene Zwazdowski.
On behalf of all members of the Legislative Assembly, I bring you sincere greetings and sincere thanks.
Mostly, though, I'm here to read the proclamation, so on behalf of the Mayor, I will do that. So whereas the Aga Khan Foundation...
And whereas the World Partnership Walk increases public awareness about global issue and raises funds to support poverty reduction programs in developing countries of Asia and Africa, and whereas now in its 28th year the World Partnership Walk creates opportunities for those less fortunate, and whereas concern for communities beyond our borders is a responsibility we all share as global citizens.
So nice to have everybody here, and I'm so glad to see we're not going to let a little bit of rain put a damper on our spirits. I wanted to first of all really thank Mr. Speaker for being here today, and of course, as you know, as you heard, that he's been here for almost every partnership walk. But in terms of the support of the community, he not only comes to this event, but he comes to Canada Day and so many of our other events, and it's such a privilege for him to be here, for us to have him here, as well as our other members of the Legislative Assembly and from the City of Edmonton, and our friends from the University of Alberta as well. And you know, we've been part of this walk for the last almost 30 years.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed my honor and privilege to bring you the greeting from our Premier Alison Redford and all my colleagues from Alberta Legislative Assembly. And you know, a few weeks ago, actually almost 1 week ago, when I was delivering my first maiden speech, and I was so much inspired by our speaker, Mr. Zwazdowski, his contribution to the community. And I just wanted to share with all of you, in my views, I think, Mr. Speaker, you are the unsung hero of the multiculturalism in Alberta. Somewhere I heard that you have to learn it, earn it, and return it. And I think it's about time for us to return it. And I know firsthand, I actually grown up in the Aga Khan hostel in Karachi, and the teaching from the the Aga Khan Foundation is always encouraged us to give back to the communities. And Aga Khan Foundation always take the lead, and they make us all proud as a Muslim, as Edmontonian, and that is a true Canadian values to help underprivileged people or countries or community. It is indeed my honor and privilege to be here. Enjoy the wonderful weather. Is it sunny or rainy? We are thin or wide. We are always there and help others. Thank you.
It's a real delight to have my first visit to the city on the occasion of the World Partnership Walk. Many of my colleagues actually told me that the walk here is very special, and I can already sense that there's a real atmosphere of busyness, hospitality, celebration, and a real collective purpose. And I say celebration because the walk is truly an extraordinary achievement. It's a tremendous example of volunteerism in action.
From what I know of the organization, I think anything that can bring different people working in this field together, particularly people that come from very, very diverse backgrounds, I think is a huge advantage and a huge benefit. It can only further the ability to be able to tell the diversity of stories that I think exist in our community and exist worldwide.